students.
Good morning, sir.
So this morning we have a visitor with us from the University of Technology.
West Indies.
Not technology, but rather the University of the West Indies. So her name is Miss Greenwood, and she will be here with us for the duration of the class. So can you all give Miss Greenwood a warm box of welcome?
Thank you, and I'm glad that you are able to accommodate me.
Okay, you can have a seat. Okay, awesome students. So this morning we will be looking on a new topic. We'll be looking at a new topic. We have started January looking at elements of design. We have started January looking at elements of design. We look at working drawing. We look at principles of design. We look at sketching. And if you guys are following the syllabus, you will have recognized that we are at presentation drawing. So, what you can do, you can go ahead and head up your books. The topic that we'll be looking at today is presentation drawing. But before I actually share the PowerPoint slide, I know that the last class we looked at working drawing. And with working drawing, there are two types of working drawing. What are those? There are two main types of working drawing. Can two brilliant students of volunteer and tell me? Young lady over there? Detailed drawing and assembled drawing. Good. And can you just give me a rundown of what is detailed drawing and what is assembled drawing? Starting with you, young lady over there. And you can stand and do the explanation.
These drawings are detailed drawing. These drawings are
Can I project some more? Can't really hear from the angle that I am at. So can I project a little bit more? Please on that. You want to assist in the process? Thank you very much. Yes, you can go. You can go ahead. Okay. Indeed, you're correct. And if you could actually project some more so that the entire class can hear, that would be excellent. So can you stand up and project some more so that each and every one can hear what detailed drawing is again?
Detailed drawing are drawing that give information.
Good. It is a drawing that gives detail of a particular design, not just design, object, or project. And when you look at a detailed drawing, you should be seeing all the different components of the design be labeled. While assembly drawing is a drawing that when you break the object apart and look at the different pieces, right? Right, students?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So see that we look on, we kind of go back and preview what we did in the last class. We're gonna zoom in now on the lesson today, which is presentation drawing. But before we tap into presentation drawing, I'm gonna go through the objectives for the class. I'm gonna go through the objectives, but before the objectives, remember the class rules. If you have a question, raise your hand, and always find a quiet spot in the class. Be respectful at all times, and remember, no loud outbursts. And stay focused on the task that is given that. But for this class, we have five specific objectives that we want to cover. So, at the end of the class, you, the students, should be able to define what is a presentation drawing accurately, list at least 3 types of presentation drawings, explain at least 3 types of presentation drawings based on class discussion, state at least 3 ways in which presentation drawings are applicable in the built environment, and also we are going to create a presentation drawing. So I hope that you guys have your crayons and all of that. Can you try and define? We're going to go here, man. We're going to go to the introduction. So just hold your pointer. We'll come right back to you. So, before we actually tap into presentation drawing, we're just hearing the word presentation drawing, guys. What comes to mind? When you hear presentation drawing, what comes to mind?
Sir, like your presentation.
Like you're presenting something? Somewhat? Anybody else? Can you project some more so the other students in the class can hear? Present art to people so they can give feedbacks. That's one of the pointers as well. Come on here. So they can have a better understanding. Good. So in the light of that, you have a house. You have a house, but with the house, it is actually a proposed idea. So for example, you have an idea to build a house, and you give the designer or architect the job. You would want to know how your house is going to look before you even start the construction. So with that, you as the client is going to need a presentation drawing. And the presentation drawing that I'm talking about is a 3D of the house. And if you guys remember when I showed you the 3D the other day, right? Good, yes. So, seeing that you guys actually engage in the intro or the engagement phase about presentation drawing, I can see that you guys have some prior knowledge as it regards to that. But before we dive into presentation drawing, there are some softwares that we must define that we utilize to do presentation drawings in modern times or recently. 2 of these main softwares are Google SketchUp and AutoCAD. And before we can touch into presentation drawing, it is integral that we define both of them. So, SketchUp is the first and AutoCAD is the second. Can you guys read what is SketchUp? The first point. So after 3, 1, 2, 3.
SketchUp is a 3D modeling computer program for a wide range of drawing applications such as architecture,
interior design,
landscape,
giants alone. And from a wider perspective, these softwares are also used for doing engineering drawings, blueprint drawings, in which a blueprint can be a detailed drawing because the detailed drawings are drawing are also have dimensions and title block. But for presentation purposes, we can utilize a blueprint for a car, blueprint for a house, as a presentation drawing as well. Because, say for example, my friend here, my student here, can you remind me of the name again? Can you remind me of the name again? Can you remind me of the name? Malia. You can see that Malia is pretty much new, so I'm trying to get myself familiarized with Malia. She's pretty new to the class. But Malia, say for example, Malia is a developer for a housing scheme. Okay? And she is willing to also get to do the construction for the housing scheme. One component that Malia has to bring to the presentation is a presentation drawing. Because Malia can't just go to the presentation without their hands, right guys?
Yes, sir.
Malia has to have something that is going to link to what everybody is going to talk about. So she would have to have the blueprint for the housing scheme and also a 3D proposal as well. So that the different agencies can see how the prospective housing scheme is going to look. Fair enough, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Good. So, can you guys just go ahead and take that down off the board, please, and come? And remember, guys, I've already I scheduled and post some notes on presentation drawings on the Google Classroom. So listen up. Even if you come to class and because of explanation you didn't get all the notes, remember that we also post the notes on the Google Classroom. Because because of the online and the COVID, we are taking a blended approach. So we are using the Google Classroom as a teaching and learning environment as well. So don't worry yourself, the PowerPoint will be shared on the Google Classroom platform. So even if we have discussion today and we didn't cover everything, you can proceed and go to the Google Classroom and take off the notes. So you guys have a minute to go. Everyone is finished?
No, sir.
You guys have about 30 seconds to go. So good students, so we're going to move on to the next slide. So initially, when I was asking the question about what you know about presentation drawing, we were just involved in, or we were just engaging in a KWL activity in which majority of you guys gave the pointers on what you know about presentation drawing. But apart from what I mentioned, what you guys would want to know about presentation drawing? What you would want to know?
Sir, I want to know how the artist or the architect will get
Okay, so you said you want to know how the architect, what?
Architect or the people who finance drawing for them, I want to make a 3D drawing result.
I guess want to hear exactly. So can you project your question again?
I want to know how
You can stand.
I want to know how the architect or the people who are drawing are financing the drawing for the other construction workers draw the house or a mechanical drawing of a car, so they project it to the other colleagues or workers.
How them project it or how them create the 3D. That's basically what you're asking.
Yes.
Okay. As we progress in the lesson, you will get to understand how they get to, convert from just a basic blueprint drawing, 2D drawing, to a 3D drawing, which actually is a presentation drawing. So we'll get there, okay? And thanks for that. Want to know question as well. So, with the KWL activity, even though it's an introductory activity, we're going to make it into a progression activity as well. So they want to know there, where you said that you want to know how the architect converts from the 2D blueprint to the 3D, you will get to know that as we progress into the lesson. So, apart from the definition, so even though from the no activity, you students tell me what the team presentation drawing is. On the board, I have a definition for presentation drawing. And can you guys read what's on the board? After three, remember. After three, 1, 2, 3.
Presentation drawings are the drawings that are used to convey basic design concepts from the design team to the owner or other interested persons.
Good. Take that down quickly as well, so that when we reach the detail stage, you can make a connection with the definition. Because after we leave from the definition and move to the types, we are going to branch off into some of these softwares that are used to create presentation drawings. Software that we looked at, such as SketchUp and AutoCAD. I know we'll have some intermediate activities as well. can use a red ink to write in your book. Remember the two acceptable inks, black ink pen and blue ink pen. You guys are finished now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, everyone is doing that. So, we're gonna look on the types now. We're gonna look at the types now. So, the types of presentation drawings. So, we have renderings, elevations, floor plan, side plan, sections. So, I'm gonna call on 5 students. I'm gonna call on 5 students, and I'm gonna assign one of those types to you, and you're just gonna go at the front of the class, and you're gonna explain what you think it is. No answers incorrect in my class, because by the end of the day, we all can fine tune as to whatever idea or whatever definition that you come up with. So, young man, starting with you at the back, you can go. You can approach the first type, which is rendering. You're going to tell us what you think a rendering is. So, good morning. No, you can't continue. Good. Dear says good. So, you can go ahead. What do you think rendering is?
Good morning. To my questions. I think rendering is an innovation of artwork that has been done by artists for a project or.
Can you come on some more so we can hear more clear? Good.
I think rendering is drawing art, a combination of work projected by someone to achieve renovation of something.
Excellent. You guys heard what he said? You guys heard what he said?
Yes. Yes.
You heard what he said?
Yes, sir.
Good. Can you guys give him a hand clap for him, please? That is an excellent explanation. That explanation that he gave sounds like an explanation that you would expect a level grade student to be saying. Not even big people, some big people like me, or a teacher like me, will not give a complete or detailed explanation like what you did. So I think you did an excellent job. And guys, rendering is actually like the finished software products that when architects or designers do computer aided drafting, which is CAD drawings, you use the 2D blueprint CAD drawings to create a 3D drawing or 2D drawing. Then you would do a render. When you would do a render, how you do the render is that we have different rendering plugins in these softwares. So we have different rendering plugins in these softwares such as AutoCAD and Google SketchUp, that when you click on render, it will render the 2D CAD based drawing and give you a pictorial image of the CAD drawing that you have. Comprehended?
Yes, sir.
Good. Elevations. Young man over there. What do you think elevations are? Remember, no answers incorrect in my class. We are to learn from each other. Good. You can go ahead. So what do you think elevations are?
Good morning.
Can you come on further? Good.
My explanation for
elevations.
Elevation is the 3D drawing of the 3D drawing of the project. Produce.
3D drawing of the project. Can you explain more? Elevation. Elevation.
Finishing the project off.
Anybody want to assist or help him?
Sir.
You want to assist?
Elevation, a high class drawing, like someone who is like very intelligent in the certain type of drawing that they're given to do in replacing it with a look and a high projection of drawing that has been completed by an architect.
So stick up in. High and low projection. That can be one way that we can look at elevation. So I'm standing at the front, looking to the back. So right now I am looking at the back elevation of the classroom. Because I am looking to the back. If I am at the back, I am looking at the front. I am looking at the front.
Elevation of the class.
I am looking at the front.
Elevation.
I'm not hearing.
You are looking at the front.
I am not
elevation.
hearing you guys over here. If I'm at the back and I am looking at the front, I am looking at the front what?
Elevation.
Good. So elevation is actually where you have a person or you have a eye view looking from different positions or dimensions or locations
Or angle.
or angle. The elevation that you represent is where you're actually standing or where you're actually positioning, looking at an object. So, if I want, so for example, you're looking at the phone. You're looking at this phone. Everyone here see the phone?
Yes, sir.
Lady over there, all eyes in this direction. You're looking at my phone, okay?
Yes, sir.
If I tell you guys to draw the front elevation of my phone, you would draw everything that you're seeing from where you're looking at, which is from here looking at the front. If I tell you guys that you should draw the side elevation of the phone, that means you will be standing from where?
At angle or where the phone is projected.
From the side.
Elevation.
Listen up. If I have the phone like this, and I tell you student to draw the side elevation, young lady, eyes here. And I ask you guys to draw the side elevation on the phone. That means you will be standing where?
At the side.
Good job. At the side. If I have the phone here and I tell you I want the back elevation of the phone or rear elevation, you will be standing where? At the back. So that means you will be seeing the camera, you will be seeing the focus, and if the camera go off, you will be seeing the flash. So it's where you're actually standing, looking at an object. It's actually the type of elevation. So you're standing at the front and looking at the object. You're looking at the front elevation. You're standing from the side. You're seeing the side elevation. You're standing from the back, looking at the object. You're seeing the rear or back elevation. Good?
Yes, sir.
And all elevations can be rendered as well. And guys, what happens is that you can draw and you can use various CAD programs. You understand? So even though you have artists that draw with pencil, majority of those works can be done in CAD, computer aided drafting and design. Programs such as AutoCAD, Google SketchUp, Revit Architecture, but when you reach the 10th grade and 11th grade, you will be introduced to those programs as well. So, floor plan. I want somebody to cover floor plan. Young lady here. What do you think floor plan is? Can you stand to the front? Can you stand to the front, please, and dance? What do you think floor plan is? Come closer down. What do you think a floor plan is? Floor plan. What do you think a floor plan is? And I want you other students in the class to also think. Because if she cannot answer, we would still want to assist her in getting the definition as well. What do you think a floor plan is? You don't know? Who wants to assist? Young lady. Yes, you can assist. Send your project. Good.
Sir, a floor plan is like in a picture, like when you look at the floor, so like design and things. Like,
Oh, you actually have to do the floor?
yes.
Okay.
This is like how we have a drawing and present the floor.
Oh, you have to present the floor? As we progress in the lesson, we'll see if what you're saying is correct. Thanks for your response. You. What do you think a floor plan is?
Sir, a floor plan is a joint combination of artwork that resembles building infrastructure of the construction that is going on, or someone is drawing a definition of what they are being shown or seen, like an elevation of what a floor plan is.
Okay. We will finalize and we will fine tune all of this as we progress. And I'm going to show you something now. We're going to stick a pin. And I am going to show you, student, a 3D of a house that I have done since week. So this 3D of the house that I've done this week is a presentation one.
Drawing.
Good. The 3D of this house is a presentation drawing. But look at this now. The floor plan of this 3D is actually when you take off the roof. When you take off the roof of the house and you're in the air looking down. So imagine you take off the roof of a house. You take off the roof of a house and you get up in a plane and you look down from the house. You understand? What you will see if the all of the roof come off. Young lady over there. If you open up the ear and you take off the roof off the house, what would you see? You're gonna see the floor, right? You're gonna see the floor of different rooms. Good. So since I show you the 3D now, I'm gonna see if I can find in the meantime, I'm gonna open the SketchUp file there. In the meantime, I'm gonna see if I can find the drawing per se that I have. But I think definitely I will not find it. So if I can find a floor plan, that would be excellent. Good. So this is a floor plan. This is a floor plan for a house. So the whole layout here is the floor plan. But in order to further explain the floor plan, is actually when you cut off the top of the roof, to cut off the top of the house, and you're looking down. So when you look down, you have to see the living room, you have to see the balcony, you have to see the bedroom, storage, washroom, study room, bedroom. You're going to see all amenities. Also, if there's a stairs in the house, you have to see the stairs because the roof gone.
Yes.
Understand?
Yes, sir.
Understand?
Yes, sir.
Good. So, with this floor plan that I showed you guys, pretty much explain what it actually is. And all floor plans have dimensions. All floor plans have different features such as windows, parking fixtures such as the base spacing and all of that. And you know, it will pretty much be a detailed guide as well. So you can see here what we learned in last class about working drawing is popping up in presentation drawing as well. Because a floor plan is actually a detail. Good. So if we are mapping over knowledge from the last class into this class. So I know that I made mention to you guys about Google SketchUp in the definition of term stage when I just started the class. So this is actually Google SketchUp. The software on the board there is Google SketchUp, and I'm going to show you guys in just a minute how this software operates. So, what you're seeing on the board is 3D representation of a pencil holder. I know that you bring a pencil holder to school today. Can you show me what the pencil holder, please? Young man, here. Move to that chair. So on the board we have the Google SketchUp software that we are using to create a presentation drawing of a pencil holder. So young lady, can I see a pencil holder, please? So you all know that for this term, you are asked to create a pencil holder for your major project. Good? In which we started looking at the sketching of it, working drawing, and now we are at presentation drawing of your pencil holder. So based on how your pencil holder looks, that's how you're going to create the presentation drawing of it. So I want you to press the little button on the mouse. When I press the button on the mouse, the middle button, that's going to allow you to rotate this object here. So can I press the middle button and move it around? Bring the mouse here, bring the cursor over here, press the middle button now. Good? Can I move it around now? When you press on the middle button, it allows him to, can I move it around? Press on the middle button. Good. And you can float it up as well. That allows him to rotate the pencil holder. So, if you are tech savvy and you further go on research about Google SketchUp, you can create your pencil holder presentation drawing in this software called Google SketchUp. Understand everyone?
Yes, sir.
Understand everyone?
Yes, sir.
Good. Somebody else want to try? Somebody else want to try to rotate the pencil holder in the software? Okay, good. You can have a seat. And thank you very much, young lady. So we're going to go back to the PowerPoint. So we are at side plan now, guys. Side plan. You can I come to the front of the class? Side plan. Good. What do you think side plan is? Can I come down closer? What do you think of side plan is? Side plan. In the meantime, you guys can think about it as well. In your own words, what do you think a side plan is? Don't know? Don't know? You don't want to give it a try? So you can go ahead. We're waiting before we call on anybody else. Alright. I think they need assistance. Who want to assist her? So the site plan is actually how you're going to present the site.
Yes.
Okay.
I already decided.
I'll build the site. Good.
So a site plan is a drawing of a presentation drawing of the site or construction where they are putting or the mechanism of a house or a car.
Excellent, man. Excellent. Then I will see your baby. And you say pretty much what it is. It's actually a plan showing the site and all the different things that are located on the site as well. And site plans are detailed drawings as well. Because for advanced site plans, you're going to have dimensions on it. You're going to have features such as trees, car, driveway, and all of that on it. But there's a slide here. So for a site plan, we have a picture right here. Can anybody tell me where is this picture? Where is this location?
School.
Where? You guys don't make out this main road.
Yes, sir.
You guys don't make out this main road.
Yes,
So you know see this back field here. Where is this, guys?
It's around the 10th grade.
So where is this? What is the name of this?
When we're outside.
Listen up. We have the main road out here, so we have a pedestrian cross right here. We have Bellevue up the road. What's the name of this place? Okay, good. So, we have an overhead shot, picture shot of Vauxhall High School. So with this, we are seeing the building of the school on the big acres of land. We're seeing features such as trees. We're seeing the main road. We're seeing cars. So the only thing that this picture needs is some dimensions. And we can represent it as a site plan. On all site plans are overhead shots of the building on the land and the position of the building on the land. Pretty much get it?
Yes, sir.
Good. Awesome. Over the sections now. I want you guys to observe this animation. Observe the animation, and then I'm going to ask the question what you think it is. Observe the animation. Observe the animation. Young lady there, what do you think a section is? Just by looking at what is going on in the animation, what do you think the animation is? Can you come to the front of the class? Remember to raise your hand. Young lady, can you do a try this? Based on the animation, can you tell me what a section is? What a section is? You know why I see the definition here? Look to the class, you're speaking to the class, not me alone. And can you project this? Can go ahead, please? You have to speak up. And you're speaking to the class as well. Section is a what? Don't know it? You're trying, young man to the back.
So a section line is a cup or the amount or space in the compound or places where buildings are being shown, or the sections of apartments or compartments in the whole drawing or the building presentation.
Alright. So, we're going to use floor plan to explain section 9. We have come up to the floor plan, guys. We have a floor plan here. And I'm going to do a section cut. Go right across. So the section cut is going to be like a horizontal camera line then, that is cutting through the building and looking in a particular direction. So, if you cut through bedroom 1, the living room and the bathroom, and you're looking in that direction, anything that you're seeing in front of you looking in that direction, you would represent in the section plan. So, I'm going to see if I can. Just a second. So look at this now, guys. So for example, we have the floor plan here of the bathroom, of the bedroom, bathroom, and another area right here. So bed, bath, and one next bed. And we have a door right here, and we have a door right there. If we have a door right here as well, and we have a section line running through the floor plan, and you see what's going on the board?
Yes, sir.
And the section line in that direction. With the section line running in that direction, everything that you're seeing looking in that direction, you will represent on the sections. And look at this now. We will represent the section as a vertical cross section per se. So we have the wall for the bathroom, and then we're seeing a door. So we will represent the door as well. Then we're seeing another door for the bathroom right here, and we're seeing another door for the bedroom. And we just go across, and then we have our roof. We have our slab roof, and then now these will represent different roofs. So the section is actually a vertical cut through the building based on the angle that you're looking from. Okay? So if you are looking at this direction, you can see all of that. If you are looking at this direction, which is this direction, the only thing you would see is a blank wall. Because no features is on this wall, no windows, no doors. So you would only see a blank wall. Understand?
Yes.
Good. But if you're seeing doors and you're seeing windows, you will represent the doors and the windows because that is what you're seeing. Pretty much saying that. Good. So seeing that we cover all the different types, with the time remaining, and just before we go to the activity, it is important that we lift whatsoever topic that we're teaching with things in the real world. So on the board we have some real world applications of presentation drawing. So in the real world, municipal council make use of site plans. Also, architects make use of what? 3D renderings. Also, we have renderings of what?
Cars.
Good. And also we have like renderings of cameras and anything that you can think of. People have done renderings of it. Because once you have an idea, you can develop that idea and create a 3D of it so that persons who can't just understand what you're saying because you have the idea in mind can see a 3D realistic view of what you're saying. Good. So, in summary, we look at presentation drawing. We said that presentation drawing are drawings that are used to convey basic design concepts from the design team to the owner or other interested persons. So in this case, when you are designing your pencil holder, you are going to be the designer and owner for the presentation drawing. You don't have to worry about SketchUp and AutoCAD for now. The only thing you need to do is to do your presentation drawing and use crayons to color your drawing and let it be neat and presentable. Because remember, for a major project, when you're presenting your major project, you will have your sketching on that day, the working drawing, the presentation drawing, and your 3D model. So with that, you will be able to make a connection from the sketching, which is the initial stage of the design, to the 3D model. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Understand, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Good. So, over to the class activity. You're going to start to do the drawing of your personal item container. So you guys can get started to do the drawing now. Now is the time where you can use a ruler and your crayons. So you're going to draw neatly, draw with a pencil. If you don't have any crayon, you can use a pencil to do things and shape. No, you can't do it. Wait until the class. So I want everybody to start with the presentation drawing now. Remember, you can't draw with a pen. So whenever you go home, you need to draw it back over. Your pencil holder should have a base as well. See that you start the activity in the meantime. You're gonna answer your names. Answer your name. The marker pen. Shaban Calvert. Anton Douglas. Adrian Gray. Henry. Robert Leakey. Kenard Melbourne. Melbourne. Sanders. Jocelyn Sandman.